I'm Jami Petersen. If you've ever been curious about digital scrapbooking but aren't ready to give up your glue, stickers, and embellishments, hybrid scrapbooking is the perfect solution. I'll show you how to use the best of digital and traditional scrapbooking to make a fun and festive project. So I've installed this fabulous software, Memory Mixer from Lasting Impressions, and I'm just gonna go mix a new album. Now I'm deciding between a quick mix or a from scratch. I'm gonna choose the quick mix because the pages are pre-laid out for me. It's just gonna take a second. It's gonna pull up all these cool designs by fabulous artists. We're gonna go with a Christmas present for my grandma. So I'm gonna choose this classic Christmas. And you can see it's gonna show me a little preview in the window of what the pages are gonna look like. I'm gonna click continue. And I wanna make sure that I insert my photos individually so I can change each page. I'm gonna click continue once, and I'm just gonna save this under grandma. Click create album, and it's gonna load my pages for me. Now you can see the first page pops up for me. What's cool about this is all these little pieces are movable and changeable so that I can customize my design any way I want. First thing we're gonna do is add our photos. So I'm going to just double click on this photo box. It's gonna bring up a window where I'm going to choose my photos. I'm gonna use this picture of my husband and my cousin's baby from last Christmas. It brings up a separate window for me where I can change the size of the photo and really bring these two to the forefront. I can also center them just by moving this box. That looks great, so I'm gonna click OK, and poof, it pops up in my layout. But I'm not done yet. I wanna add some fun embellishments, so let's put a mat around the photos to really make those stand out. I'm gonna click this mat button on my left side, and it'll bring up a box for me. Now you can see that I can change the size of the mat and make it larger or smaller simply by adjusting the number. So easy. I'm gonna stick with 10, that's a nice size for me. Now the next thing I wanna do is change the color. I'm going to double click the color box, and it's going to bring up another window where I can choose a color. I'm gonna match my color exactly to my layout, so this is a really neat feature. I'm simply going to click the picker button, and I can run my cursor over the layout and choose the exact color. I like that red, so I'm going to click it once. It pops up in my preview window. That looks great, so I'm clicking OK. And then one last step on this, I want to apply to all the photos on this page. You have the option of doing it throughout the album, but this page is going to be sufficient. Click OK. There it is! So easy and quick and fun. So we're going to add now a second photo. Again, the same process. There it is. So this layout is practically done for me. Another feature about this software is that it has this little ladder on the left side, and all you have to do is simply follow the steps. So we're going to move on to embellishments, and I'm clicking the Add Embellishment button. It's going to bring up a myriad of choices, and you can have fun for hours going through these. But for now, I'm just gonna stick with something simple, like a button. So I'm gonna choose white, and you can see that it pops up in my preview window. I'll select that. I want them on every corner of my photos, so I'm going to do that simply by increasing the quantity. Click OK, and there they are. All you have to do is use your cursor and move them around to each corner. Now that I have all the buttons placed, I'm going to move on to some journaling. Since this is the first page of my album, I just want to add a little title, and I'm going to go back to my ladder on the left side and go down to Titles and Journaling, click it once, and I'm going to add text by clicking that button. It's going to pop up another window where I'm going to write the title, which is Iowa Christmas 2006. I'm going to highlight the text, and then I can play around with what fonts look best. I like the Bradley hand, so I'm going to click OK, and then it appears in my layout. I'll simply move the box over and make sure everything looks good. I can center this as well by going over to Alignment on the left side and clicking the center button, and there it goes. Now I can also change the color of the font, which is so cool, to match my layout as well by going down to Match Color. Click it once, and the window pops up. You remember how we did this for the matting. I'm going to do the same thing for the text. I like that cream color, so let's use that. Click it once, it appears in the preview window. If that looks good, hit OK, and there you go. My first page is done. Next, I'm going to tell you about print services, which is an important feature if you're wanting to print 12 by 12 pages, which normally printers at home can't handle. You can also do books and several other things that the software will do for you. I'm making 8 by 8 pages, which I can do at home, so all I'm going to do is go to the print button under the share album. Save your photo album, and then this wizard is going to walk you through each of the steps. So just make sure your printer is selected and choose how many copies you would like. Hit the next button. This window is where you can choose which pages you want to print. But it's important to note that the print setup button on the left bottom corner is where we're going to change our sizes. Right here you can see I have a full size, but I want to change it to an 8 by 8. There are several other options that you can choose, but in this case we're going to do an 8 by 8. I'm going to click OK. So now that that's all set up, we can print. So this is my printed out version. I've simply done this on standard 8.5 by 11 paper and trimmed it down to my 8 by 8 size. This is a great layout already, but here's where the hybrid stuff comes in. I have all these fun buttons, brads, floss, and ribbon that I have to use. So here's what I've done. You can see that we have this velvety ribbon that's so soft, and these buttons with floss that just add some dimension and some pop to that layout. This is my second page of the layout. It's a picture of my parents, and I've simply dry embossed using the Lasting Impressions brass template. For a full tutorial on how to dry emboss, check out our Pocket Full of Cards webisode. The third page has my Christmas tree from last year. I've used this awesome glitter to highlight some of those ornaments, but that wasn't enough for me. I had to do something more fun. So I took the exact same layout and I used some of those fun embellishments like the background and the circle and the words and printed it out on the Lasting Impressions cardstock, and I'll show you why. Because when I cut out my little door and I have my little doorknob brad, I open the page and I have a coordinating set right there, and it just adds a little peekaboo element to the page. That's so fun. My last page is a picture of myself and my husband. I've again done the dry embossing, and I've used the sentimentals with a little bit of ink around the edge to finish it up. Now, because digital scrapbooking is so versatile, there's a ton of stuff you can do with it. Let me show you some other things that I've made. When you're scrapbooking digitally, it's so easy to duplicate the pages. You simply print out as many versions as you want in any size. So I've made smaller versions for each member of my family, and it's still unique because I can change the sentiments and the embellishments. Another cool gift you could do for Christmas would be calendars with your own photos and your own dates. Put your birthday in there, no one will ever forget it. We talked about the 12 by 12 size, and this awesome book is done with all vacation photos, so use your own and make your own story. Now here, I've taken 2 canvas frames, attached some hinges to them, and voila, what an impressive gift for someone. Just use some brass corners and you're all set. So now that you know how to marry digital and traditional scrapbooking, you can create amazing projects that will live happily ever after.
For step-by-step instructions on how to create this week's project, download the design guide featuring special make-it-your-own bonus tips.